In my previous talk, I have explained how to go to heaven. Can you remember how I explained? And how to go to heaven? Item by item, I explained these are the things that we have to do if we want to go to heaven. Now today, I want to tell you how to attain Nibbana. We cannot say how to go to Nibbana. There is nobody to go. We gain. Wrong word, if we say, I want to go to Nibbana. We can go to heaven here. But Nibbana we have to bring. Attain Nibbana. To attain Nibbana by performing meritorious deeds or performing religious activities, we may give them. We can accumulate lots of good karma. But this karma alone cannot pave the way for us to gain Nibbana bliss. Please remember, all these karma, good karma that we accumulate are important for us to bring as long as we stay here in this world for our day-to-day life, as our requisites, as our requirements, what we need for our living. These karma support us. That is the only thing that karma does. For example, for gaining enlightenment, the Buddha, we have used the word Buddha but not say again, without. He was practicing austerity. Austerity means torturing his physical body according to the instructions or the guidance given by other existing religions in India. So he was suffering without eating, without sleeping, without lying down. So nearly 6 years he struggled. So when he was struggling, Mara appeared. Because Mara doesn't want people to achieve higher religious achievement. He always does. So he wanted to interrupt, to disturb the Buddha's way of practicing, his way of life for gaining enlightenment. So Mara came and asked, why do you want to suffer like this? You are a prince. You will become the ruler of this country. Why not to go back? Enjoy your life. You can rule the country. At the same time, you also can create lots of good karma if you want. Here, the Buddha says like this. Anumattena punyena atto mayang naviti. I am not working to create karma. Karma cannot give me enlightenment. So here you can understand. Our karma that we gain by performing all these religious activities support us. Wherever we exist or wherever we live, some of our good karma always supports. After that, again we have to do no. So, attainment of Nibbana is entirely different. So I am going to explain to you what are the qualifications or the duties or what you have to do if you really want to experience Nibbana bliss. We cannot use the word happiness. Happiness we use a worldly thing. Worldly pleasure. Happiness. This is not happiness. In English word, we can use only bliss. The meaning of the word, nirvana. towards others. Mir is not. One craving. No more craving. Then we will be near. That is the most difficult thing for us to do. Craving, selfishness, attachment, always bound us to this world. But if we want to get rid of our problems and troubles and difficulties and physical and mental suffering, we have to get rid of these bondages. So we are bound to this world because of this thing. We have cut off this. Now, we take crude oil. This crude oil we cannot use. That is purified. We have machines to purify. Then produce petrol or kerosene oil. But when we take it into our hand, petrol or any kind of oil will remain. This oil remains in our fingers. The same oil, again we convert into spirit. Then when we take the spirit, within few seconds, the spirit goes last and attacks it. Purify. So what we are going to do, to purify the mind by reducing the burden and responsibilities and craving and attachment and worries and fears, by reducing, it becomes very light. Now we are very heavy because of those things. So, our burden in our mind is heavier than the physical. Physical body does not suffer so much. The mind, every minute, the mind has to suffer. So, only by reducing and completely eradicating 10 kinds of bondages or defilement. Whatever word we use in English language, very difficult to find out the suitable word. 10 kinds of fetters which interrupt for gaining Nibbanic bliss. So if our aim of practicing this religion is to attain Nibbanic bliss, then this we have to work. Otherwise, forever we remain in this world, we get a little bit of pleasure due to our good karma. And again, very unpleasant. Unpleasant only. No in. Then what are those 10 kinds of fetters? Sakkaya Ditti, Vicikicca, Silabbata Parama, Kamaraga, Patika, Ruparaga, Aruparaga, Mana, Uddhati, Avidya. Yes. These 10 kinds of bondages bound us to this world, cannot be out. Always. When the Buddha came to know that there were 60 Arahants, first time, he said like this: Muttohang sabda pasevi ye dibbā ye ca manasa. Sumhehi mutta pasevi ye dibbā ye ca manasa. He had just those 60 Arahants and said, you and me, completely released from human and divine bondages. We are not bound to these human bondages or divine bondages. Divine bondages, human bondages mean because of our craving, attachment and inclination, we have to deal with them, then create enormous confusion, mistakes and troubles and disturbances. Divine bondage means craving for sensual pleasure in heaven, divine. But there is a time limit for this divine pleasures or bondages or pleasure. Time limit means according to the degree of the merit that they have accumulated during their previous birth when they were human beings. Only human beings can attain heaven, because they are the ones who can create good karma. If these good karmas are very heavy, then rebirth can take place in one of those Devaloka or heaven. So their maximum life limit depends on their karma, how long they can enjoy their life in heaven. When all their good karmas are extinguished, evaporated or finished, they cannot stay anymore in that place. So their life is like the flame of a candle. As long as wax and wick remain, the flames also. When these two burn completely, no more flame. Their life is. Even in our case, before our death, among all those good karma and bad karma, because no one can live in this world creating only good karma, cannot lead a worldly life by creating good karma. Whether we like or not, certain bad karma also exists. So all these are mixed up in our subconscious mind. At the last moment, when our five senses are not working with the mind, when the mind cannot bring any object into the mind, for that we say unconscious. That is the time the subconscious mind, what we have accumulated, all the good and bad karmic energy, projects into the mind. Just like the films. Appear, disappear, appear, disappear, appear, disappear. So, even the certain good and bad karma that we have accumulated during our previous birth also still, although we cannot remember. It's not enough karma that we have done within this lifetime. One of those karma that we have done during the previous birth come forward. Therefore, there is so much in our waiting list, waiting for the opportunity to affect. One karma can interrupt another. One karma can topple another. One karma can stop another one, according to their what they call degrees. How heavy is this karma? How therefore very uncertain. No one can say actually what kind of karma that appears in our mind before our death. Appear and disappear, but before our death, that appeared in the mind all on. That particular karma is responsible for the next life. Nobody knows whether it is good karma or bad karma. This is uncertain. So, that karma is responsible for the lifespan in the next. That is why some die even in the mother's womb. Immediately after giving birth, for a few months, few years, or up to 100 or 90. There are some even to live 100, more than 100. That karma is responsible for it. a young man, Subha, came and asked this question from the book. Why some dies when they are very young? Why some can live up to maximum level? What is the cause? Then the Buddha pointed out the nature of our karma that has taken the responsibility of our life. If it is weak, we cannot go further. Again, depart. Then another karma comes and take the responsibility. Then existence again takes place in another. Therefore, this karma cannot do anything for us for gaining enlightenment, attaining Nibbana. If we remain here without attaining Nibbana, we are subjected to any kind of suffering, physical and mental. Now, by realizing this, many understanding people try to get rid of this and gain Nibbana bliss, to stop all suffering, to gain the bliss, free, complete. For attainment of this Nibbana bliss, we have to take out, unload, in kind of practice. First one is Sakkaya Ditthi. Sakkaya Ditthi means the belief that some people maintain that there is an eternal soul or self that migrates from life to life or go to heaven or heaven. That belief. As long as we maintain that belief, there is no Nibbana, because it is wrong concept. Why it is wrong concept? I have explained. The human consciousness, many people could not understand. The Buddha explained the nature of human consciousness. So those who could not understand the nature of that consciousness, they used this word, soul or self. But inside they are nothing. They say created by the goddess. But the Buddha says when we analyze this consciousness, we have our ignorance, craving, attachment, karma that we have accumulated, all are there in that consciousness. Again, five senses bring external objects into the mind. These things also deposit in our consciousness. Then mental faculties, our feeling or sensation, or our identification, and wholesome, unwholesome thoughts that appear in our mind also transfer into consciousness. Now here you can understand how big it is now, the consciousness. So we can explain what the consciousness is, but others cannot say what it's for. Nobody knows, only believe. Here, as long as we maintain this belief, there is an eternal soul, there is no Nibbana. We have to drop that belief. Sakkaya Ditthi. Next one, Vicikicca. Vicikicca means the skeptical doubts. Two kinds of doubts, ordinary and skeptical. A skeptical doubt we maintain without studying, without observing, without analyzing, without thinking. We come to some conclusion, belief. With the right or wrong, we don't want to know. That is called a skeptical doubt. Example. Now we say, there will be another life after our death. But some people, without studying, without thinking, without observing, simply say, no, we don't believe. No, that is skeptical. Now we say, when we create good karma, we have to experience good result. When we do bad karma, we have to experience the bad result. Some people say, no, we don't believe that, because they don't study. Now we say, Buddha is an enlightened religious teacher. What is that enlightenment? We don't believe that there is an extraordinary thing there. That is skeptical. So if we maintain this kind of stubbornness and stiff and skeptical ideas, belief, there is no reward. We have to open our mind, think unbiased, and then we can understand things. Otherwise, always biased. Sila Vrata Paramasa. Sila Vrata Paramasa. Inclination towards rites and rituals. That means strongly believe by performing rites and rituals they can attain their salvation. If that belief is there, there is no reward. Now, the Buddha did not introduce any kind of rites and rituals. We introduce. We start. According to our way of life or traditions, certain tradition customs become rites and rituals, and burning and worshipping and offerings and all sorts of things, all rites and rituals. Thinking through the influence of this, we can find out salvation. The Buddha says no. Now these are the three. When these three things drop, then that person attains first stage of sainthood. So that when these three, no more. So that. Then, still there are many more. Kama Chanda, craving for sensual pleasure, craves for sensual pleasure. As long as they keep this, there is no further development. By knowing that these things interrupt spiritual development, and then they try to reduce and reduce and reduce and reduce and free mind. But it is so strong in our mind, we cannot uproot at once. Very strong. We can cut off only 50%. We can reduce 50%. That means we are not crazy for pleasure, but we experience. Normally. Then, fatigue, hatred, anger, hatred, ill will, evil process. If we keep our hatred towards anything or anybody, even our own body, if we hate, it is hatred. But the body becomes the object to develop my hatred. That is why, again, the Buddha advised, when there is a severe pain, don't hate. You pollute your own mind. You concentrate on that pain, then go on thinking pain and pain and pain and pain and pain. Then you harmonize your mind with the pain. Then your mind gets used to this pain. Then reduce your hatred and your feeling also. Reduce, because the mind is cooperating. If you hate, then you have to experience more pain. So, So when we reduce this hatred 50%, then we get the chance to attain the second stage of sainthood, Sakadagami. Sakadagami means once return. Once return means the birth takes place only once. Because cut down the energy that carry forward our life, 50% cut down. Therefore, rebirth takes place only once. Next one, after that, give the chance to go forward. Then, Sotapanna, Sakadagami, Anagami, third stage of sainthood. Anagami, never return. Never return means if that person has not yet attained Arahant, after his or her death, rebirth never takes place as human, because they cannot become any other forms of living being, cannot become animals or spirit or ghost or devil or not even devas. Human. So what will happen? After reducing the other 50% of hatred and craving for pleasure, attain the third stage, Anagami. We could not attain Arahanta within that life, then existence again takes place in one of the Brahma, that is called Suddhavasa, pure abode. Suddhavasa, pure abode. That means will be born in that Brahma realm or Brahma world, remain there for some times, and develop the rest. Develop means eradicate there without coming down. Then attain Arahanta last. Now then there's another important point. 700 years after the Buddha, when Mahayana schools of Buddhism started, they have given a different picture of that Brahma realm where Anagami exists. The Buddha says that person exists there and develop further by reducing the rest, then attain the rest. Mahayana schools elaborated, decorated, beautified this by giving another name, Sukhavati, pure land. Now the concept of pure land, Sukhavati, originated because of that. They say, in that Sukhavati, there are bodhisattvas who stay there without attaining nirvana, although they can, out of compassion toward every living being. So until they attain nirvana, they don't want to attain nirvana. Out of compassion, they stay there. So when we pray and worship and recite their names, then we also get the chance to be born there. That is how they explain. People like it. So, it's completely different from the Buddha's way of thinking. Now, this person who attained that Brahma, pure abode, Suddhavasa, by developing further to the experience he had as a human being, then 5 more factors that person had to reduce. Otherwise, no nirvana. Ruparaga, Aruparaga, Mana, Uddhacha, Avidya. Why? Ruparaga, craving for fine material life. You know, in Devaloka, Devas have very fine, very refined physical formation lasts for a long period. We crave for that. That is called rupa. That craving also hindrance for attaining Nibbana. Because we develop attachment towards that way of life. Rupa. Next one is arupa. A means no in Pali language. Rupa means no rupa, no formation. But life exists. Some people like it. Because no more burdens of physical life. Now all our troubles that we are facing because of our physical life. We have become slaves to work, to support this physical life. And we have to suffer because of this physical body. But if life exists without this physical body, how nice. They develop that craving towards that particular life. They do exist in Brahma world. Life is there, but no visible, no tangible physical body. So when we develop our craving towards this, that craving also hinders our spiritual development, because that life also impermanent. That life exists for a certain period and again disappears. Not to develop attachment towards that life which has no formation or elements. Ruparaga, aruparaga. Third one is man. You see, our pride so strong. We don't want to drop this so easily. We carry this pride up to the top without dropping. So strong in our pride. We maintain this pride by taking all sorts of things, our race, our culture, our color, and our tradition, so many things. This mosquito is not a Buddhist woman. So, pride we maintain. Oh, we are Chinese. Right. Then Indians, oh, we are Indians. Then Europeans say, oh, we are Europeans. They are Asian. We are Buddhists. Right. As long as we maintain this kind of pride, it is an illusion. No spiritual goal. We have to do this. Right. Uddacha. Uddacha means restlessness in our mind. Nobody knows the cause or the reason. Some sort of uneasiness, restlessness, we experience. The reason is given. Two reasons are given. First thing, certain mistake or bad things that we have committed in early part of our life, hidden in our subconscious mind. So, when there are no more active mental energies, these things come clear. These things stir, create some sort of uneasiness. If not certain bad deeds that we have committed during our last birth, all those karmic seeds are in our subconscious. They stir the mind. Then we have to experience restlessness. That means cannot concentrate peacefully because of these disturbances. We not purposely we do that. It comes from the subconscious. So we had to suppress, control, eradicate this restlessness from the mind. In the last part, avidya. Avidya. A means no. Vidya means understanding. No understanding. Avidya. Ignorance. Avidya. No understanding. Ignorance. This ignorance we carry up to the last item. It is so heavy and dominated our mind. All our mistakes we do because of this ignorance. And ignorance supports your craving, your attachment, or inclination. Ignorance supports to do. So, in Paticca-samuppada, dependent upon origination, the one circle, because of this, disappear. Because of that, disappear. Because of that, disappear. Go one round, 12. Again come back to the same. That is why the Buddha says there is no beginning. Ending and starting join together. Make one round. So this, the main cause of our existence or suffering is our ignorance. Start from ignorance. Avidya paccaya sankhara. Because of our ignorance, we accumulate sankhara. Sankhara means wholesome, unwholesome, good or bad. Good for worldly life, yes. Good for worldly life as well as bad. Both we commit because of our ignorance. Start from ignorance. Avidya paccaya sankhara. Sankhara paccaya vijnana. And all those sankhara, or wholesome, unwholesome activities that we have accumulated become the cause for us to have vijnana, the consciousness. Just now I explained what is consciousness. That is departed consciousness. When we die, this consciousness departs from him. That is called departed consciousness. Avidya paccaya sankhara, sankhara paccaya vijnana. Vijnana paccaya nama rupa. Because of that departed consciousness, nama rupa join together. Mind and matter join together. And then in the mother's womb, mind and matter combined. And again start. Vijnana paccaya nama rupa. Nama rupa paccaya salayatana. Because of the combinations of mind and matter, 6 senses. Eyes, ear, nose, mouth, visual body. 5 sensations. Then mental image or mental objects. 6 senses. Mind is dealing with these 6 senses, channels. If these 5 senses are not working with the mind creates objects. Even while sleeping, as dreams, mind creates objects, vision. What is the nature of it? Nama rupa paccaya salayatana. Salayatana paccaya phasso. Because of these 6 senses, we experience contact, touch. Eyes can touch, ear can touch, body can touch, mind can touch. An external object. Alayatan patyaya phassa. Phassa patyaya vedana. Because of this contact, we experience feeling. Pleasant, unpleasant, or neutral feeling. Without touching, we never gain feeling. Eye can touch, mind can touch, ear can touch, body can touch, then we gain feeling. Vijnana patyaya nama rupam, nama rupatya salayatana, salayatana patyaya. We crave for it. If there is no feeling, we cannot create craving for it. That is how we develop our craving. Now, Rupatya, Pasupatya, Vedana. Vedana Patya, Tanha. Tanha Patya, Upadana. Because of this craving, we want to hold, embrace, possess. Otherwise, we never touch. There is a very nice parable, then easy to understand. Once I have told you, I think you have forgotten. A man who wanted to go and sleep under a tree. He does not know what this tree is. At night he went, he saw a tree and he started to sleep, covering his head completely. Face and head completely covered and sleeping. When he was sleeping, he heard something drop. And then this channel started to work with the mind. While sleeping, this one closed. That sound opened this channel. Now it is working with the mind. Then the mind wanted to see, and then open the other channels. He got up and went on. He saw something. Now the other channel, feeling, touching, open. He went to go and touch. Got into his hand. Three channels are working with the mind. But still, mind does not know what it is. And then wanted to see smell. Oh, four channels started. Nice smell. Great temptation, the smell. So he is still not sure whether it is sweet or sour. Now then, very sweet. Mango. Because of that sweetness, he will crave. Otherwise, craving never appears. He had done all the other things without craving. Only after experiencing the taste, develop craving. Because of this craving, he wanted to climb the tree and churi pluck the mangoes. Mango trees belong to somebody else. Here you can understand how craving force or to do bad things. If that craving never appears in the mind, he will never do that. This is the way how Buddha has introduced it. Vidya patya tanha, tanha patya upadana, upadana patya bhavo, bhava patya jati, jati patya no. Vidya patya sankara, sankara patya vijnana, vijnana patya namarupam, namarupatya salayatana, salayatana patya phasso, phasso patya vedana, vedana patya tanha, craving. Tanha patya upadana. Because of this craving, then this person wants to cling to something. hold on something. Upadana paccaya bhava. Because of that clinging, bhava, becoming again. Now then, start again another round. That's why Buddha said there is no beginning. Now this 12 thing always going round and round and round and round. The ending and beginning join together in the round. And this is the most important aspect in the teachings of the Buddha. He said, Yo paticca samuppadam jhanati, so dhammam jhanati. If anyone can understand this paticca samuppada or dependent upon origination, that person knows the dharma, everything what the Buddha taught. Because we have to think and think and think to understand it. And then realizations appear in our mind. Why do we exist here in this world? Why do we suffer? How do we enjoy our life? All these things appear, understand when we study this. So, started the last item, craving. That can also drop. Then attain Arahants. All the 10 matters completely drop. Nothing here. So the Arahants and Buddhas experience Nibbana bliss while they are living. But physical body always disturbed. Sicknesses, pain, hunger, and so many difficulties. They are not free from all this. So what they do, occasionally they cut off the mind from the physical body. Switch off. Just like under anesthetic injection. Body remains like a dead body. But the mind experiences Nibbana bliss. With the physical body, it's very difficult. You know, when we suffer from certain sicknesses and ache and pain, there is no peace in our mind. Therefore, we switch off the mind from the body. We can do that for 1 week. After 1 week, again switch off. Then start function. So, it is mentioned, Jesus Christ was missing for 13 years. Nobody knows where he was. But there are many legends. Many people have written books that he was in Egypt, India, and Tibet. During that period, he studied meditation and what we call attain the jhana stage through meditation, and he has returned to his home country, started to preach. The Roman government could not understand what he was planning. That is why he was crucified and killed. But they say, when they crucified him, he has attained that jhana meditation. At that stage, no one can kill that person. He may like dead body, but death has never taken place. So later, thinking that he is dead, they removed his body and buried. Then he got back to his normal density. Then, by using the force, he come out. Then he came to know that he cannot survive here in this country. Again he has gone to India. Some people have seen he was going. When St. Thomas, one of his disciples, heard that he had gone to India, he wanted to go and find out where he is. But he went to South India, Malabar district. Jesus went to Kashmir and he died there. And they have found his tomb also where he was buried. Certain wordings are there. The books have been written with all the details, but Christians are keeping quiet. They say, if it is true, why Jesus did not say? But who knows, he might have read, but these people don't know to mention. Therefore, the story that they have created after his death and burial has gone to heaven. He did not go to heaven, he went to Kashmir. Again, if he went to heaven with the physical body, he had to carry oxygen tank also. In the space he cannot breathe. So, that is how religious stories. In every religion, there are such stories. So, many books written by Americans and British, after studying, investigating all the details about Jesus. So, it is true that he did not die there, got up and came back to India. So these Arahants and Buddhas, when they attained that whole samapatti, no one can kill them, no one can destroy their life. They get back to normal. Then the complete bliss of nirvana, they experience when the mind separated from the body. That means passing away or the death. No physical body. Complete bliss is there. We call Parinibbana and there's another word for that. Experiencing Nibbanic bliss while we are living is called Parinibbana. And there's another word I forgot. When the mind is free from the physical body, after death, the bliss that they attain, we call Mahaparinibbana, 2 stages. But the same Nibbanic bliss, they experience in this state. So even in our case, if we attain this higher stage, just now I told you the main cause is our craving. If we can completely uproot this craving from our minds, we cannot create any bad karma. We have no craving for pleasure. We experience complete peace, bliss, calmness, satisfaction, tranquility in our mind. Within this lifetime, experience Nibbana bliss. Now these are the 10 bondages or fetters of action for us to attain Nibbana bliss. We can do lot of meritorious deeds. They are important for us to continue to carry on our way of life, for our pocket expenses. But for the attainment of nirvana, we had to take out these 10 and throw them. And then attain it. So you are now in nirvana. Okay. Right. Imina punya kammena upajjaya gunottara acharya upakaracha mata pita piya mamang suriyo chandi maharaja Gunavanta narapicha Brahma maracha indacha Lokapalacha devata Yamo mitta manusacha Majjata virikapicha Sabbe satta dukhiyantu punyani prakatani me sukhanca dividang dentu Kipang papeta vomasang imina punya kammena imina uddisena ca Kipang sulabheseva tannupadana cedanam Ye santane nadamma yava nibbanato mamang nassantu sabbadaeva yatta jato bhave bhave citto sattipanyo Sallepo viriyavamina Maralabantu no kasam Katunca viriyesume Buddhadi pavaronato Dhammo nato aruttamo Nato pacceta sambuddho Sangho nato taro mamam Tirottamanubhavena Marupa labhantu ma Bhajadmangalam rakhantu abhidiyata Sabba buddhanubhavena sadhagotyantu te Bhavatu sabba mangalam rakhantu abhidiyata Sabba dhammanubhavena sadhagotyantu te Bhavatu sabba mangalam rakhantu abhidiyata Sabba sanghanubhavena sadhagotyantu te